It just felt like somebody hit me in the head.
Well, we're drinking whiskey tonight.
It's a whiskey night.
We're having Jameson.
So we're going to be crazy.
And soda. I'm having it with Pepsi because that's the way I roll. And
I'm sophisticated.
Hi, Carlene.
Hi, Alma.
How are you?
Hot.
I just heard your heavy breathing. That was awesome. We're also filming ourselves as well.
We're attempting.
We're just always experimenting.
I feel like I can't
the last
see
few.
with this thing. Hello?
Hello. Wait, one more.
If I have it low, then
How you doing?
I am so. I am like a 3-year-old tonight. I can't hear it. This is in my way. Right,
You should have seen her dressing room request, folks. Like she wanted all the M&Ms separated by color.
Only the blue ones, please.
Her Sprite had to be chilled at just the right temperature.
And now I'm like, it's hot. It's hot in here. My mic isn't right. I am being ridiculous. I just want onion rings, please.
Hey, so I've noticed that we've had a lot of, the listenership has gone up.
Yes.
It has gone up. Clap, clap, clap.
Thank you.
So for those of you that may be listening for the first time, this is 2 segments. It's Carlene and I. And one of us will usually take on true crime. And the other one will take on paranormal or something else. Carlena's being a weirdo.
And
I wish you could see her right now.
Well, they could, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they could.
That doesnesn't run out of battery life. Oh my gosh. So anyway, yeah, true crime, paranormal. But tonight, I will be doing
the true crime. Yes, we switch off every once in a while. So welcome to Tipsy Tales. I'm Alma.
And I am Carlene.
All right.
Your psychic medium friend.
Yes.
That's real.
That is real.
That is real.
She's legit. She has a website and everything.
Well, I have a Facebook.
Well, she has a Facebook, yeah. That's right.
I should have a website.
We got to work on that.
Yeah, I just don't solicit people. So I feel like, why do that?
It's all word of mouth.
Yeah. And I think I'm too lazy to do it, just to be honest. You're welcome.
Like somebody
you're welcome.
pulled this backwards. Just went like this.
Somebody did? Okay, I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. I texted you while I was working on this, and at first I saw this mist go across my keyboard, and I was like, oh, it's just from my coffee.
Okay.
But my coffee was cold. It had been sitting there.
Interesting.
Then I'm working away on my story, and I see this thing, and it almost looked like a spider or something going across, but it went really fast. Mm-hmm. And it's like, are my eyes just playing tricks on me? You know how your eyes do that? You might see, especially if you've been working on the computer all day or something,
right.
See spots or whatever. And that's when I texted you and was like, okay, weird shit's been going on. Oh, and then after I texted you,
right,
the little YouTube thing that I was researching froze up on me.
Are you serious?
Totally froze up. And then I was trying to read the words, and they got all blurry, so I couldn't read them. Like my internet connection was bad or something.
Have you ever tried to read a book in a dream?
What?
I know it's random, but have you ever been like in a dream and you're trying to read like a map or a book?
I've never gotten a map or a book in a dream.
Really?
That I recall.
And you can't make out all of a sudden, like everything is gibberish. You can't read.
No, I get freaky dreams. If I get a dream that I can remember,
that was random.
it's like skeletons chasing me or something. Just kidding. No, I don't know. My last dream was freaky. But go ahead. Tell me.
No, I was just like, because that's what that made me think of when you said that.
No, but
you couldn't read the words.
Happened. I mean, I'm sure there's a meaning behind that I could psychoanalyze for you sometime.
Right.
Be happy
Maybe
to do
I'll
that.
have to schedule a session.
Perhaps. Well,
Perhaps.
We do need to boom shaka you.
Yeah, I do need a boom shakalaka. Yeah. I'm way overdue.
Uh-huh.
All right. This whiskey and Pepsi is delicious.
So refreshing, isn't it?
It's been quite a week for us.
Refreshing. We have been, just so you all know, we were talking about this earlier, we have been very productive.
Yes. You were here Sunday night.
We got to see a lot of each other.
Tuesday night.
Yesterday
Thursday morning. And today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
working. We're moving and shaking behind the scenes.
for all of you. Just because we want to give quality content. We want to make sure that you see all of us.
In our full glory.
Yeah. Actually,
not naked.
yeah. No, not all of us.
Not all of us.
Well, no. We really are just trying to like make sure if you're going to pay for Patreon, we want to make it worth it.
Right.
Like we want to make sure you get some extra content.
Yeah. And we haven't really been as diligent on that, but mostly because we haven't had a lot of traffic on there.
Yeah. But now we are.
But now, yeah, it's different.
And we are we're working on that. And we are trying to work on stuff for our YouTube. Our YouTube right now has our podcast.
It sure does.
But I think I just burped in the mic.
Yeah, I think I did too. At the same time.
Like,
Jinx.
all I did was open my mouth and it goes clunk. Anyway.
Yeah, I've put up like 8 episodes so far, so it's all the most recent episodes. So
yeah. So you can look at the TV and listen to us.
Yeah. For those of you that like listening to podcasts on YouTube, but we're also working on actual content for YouTube. So
which we
stay
think
tuned,
we're hilarious.
folks. Stay tuned because coming soon to a YouTube near you.
We think we're hilarious.
Yeah, we do.
And you're welcome for that.
And we got our masks.
Oh, and we got our masks that are amazing. I love our masks.
Yes.
I'm promoting the hell out of them because they are I love them.
Yes.
I don't think we need to do anything different. Although I like that little design that you had going on.
Yeah, I'm working on another one. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised at the quality.
And I like that they cover a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they go like under your chin and everything, but that's okay. I like it.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to check out the masks that we have, they're on teespring.com /store/tipsy-tales-podcast-merch.
They are comfortable. They're soft. And you know what else I like is that you can breathe through them.
Right.
I mean, like, without
this sounds like
inhaling,
a commercial.
Yeah, without inhaling the mask.
No,
you know how, like, when you breathe, like, the mask, like, you breathe in your nose and it goes up your nose?
Yeah.
But these don't.
No, I love it.
Yeah, I love them.
I love it.
I love them.
A great conversation piece.
Shorty balls, I really like them.
Shorty balls?
I really like them.
I know.
They're really
I wish we could put, like, shorty balls on a shirt, but I don't want to, like...
No, Saturday Night Live might have our asses.
Yeah.
But they're really nice.
They are really nice.
They're really nice. I like them, shorty balls. Okay, and then, I mean, I just want to say, listen, it is really nice to be friends with your ex-husband.
Absolutely.
And, we've been able to raise 3 very healthy, loving, amazing human beings together because we like each other. I mean, for the most part, we've had our moments, trust me.
Right.
But we do like each other. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't always like me, and I didn't always like him, but that's family.
Right.
Like family fight. Anyway.
That's normal even when you're married.
Right. Right. And I would always tell my kids, like, just as your brother and sister and you guys argue, we argue, but we never brought our kids into it. We kept them separate. Anyway, we are friends. We have a history together. We've helped each other grow. We've been together, part of each other's lives for 30 years or more. It's been over 30 years. It's crazy. But anyway, I would like to give a shout out to Brian.
Yes, Brian.
Because,
1, he allowed us to use his camera.
We have a nice little video camera that we get to use right now.
And 2, he's kind of worked on our logo to help us put it on our merch and other things. So.
And he's guiding us with some other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So he's really helping us out and doing it on his own time when he could be busy doing other things.
Look,
so
I barely have a handle on the whole sound issue here. Like, it's obvious that this is not was not my wheelhouse to begin with. But I mean, it fell in my lap, and this is what I'm doing. But now we're taking on the whole video thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know.
I mean,
where to start.
She watched me try to do one thing on my computer, and that explains everything.
It totally explained everything.
Yeah. Oh wait, I was trying to log on to your internet. That
that was funny.
Everything.
That was funny.
Well, was it, or was it just terrifying?
It was actually funny and a little bit terrifying.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I keep telling her how I want to help and do stuff, and then I can't even log on.
Yeah. And I just want to say a quick shout out to those who've already purchased masks and a t-shirt and a few other things off of Teespring. We don't know who you are, but thank you so much. We appreciate you. Have no idea.
Yes, thank you. Is there a reason we have to use a coaster?
No, because my desk is all fucked up anyways. I don't know. Coasters, but they always come up.
It just keeps sticking and making a loud noise.
Okay.
I'm like, God darn thing. Oh, anyway, yes, we really do appreciate that. I think it's amazing if we just sell one thing. I get excited. So just sell a few things. And by the way, like, I love our mugs. I think those, even if I wasn't doing Tipsy Tales, I would have a mug just because I think they're very cool.
Right.
I just think we have a cool logo, period. But anyway, I love our mugs. I love our masks. I love our t-shirts. They're comfy.
Can you guys tell we're super excited?
We are. I love everything.
Yeah.
But no, I really do like our masks and our mugs. And I want the phone cases. We're going to make those.
Yes, we are.
We're super, super duper excited. So keep telling your friends because we think we're famous.
Hey. Put it in the universe. Put it into the universe.
Hey, Anyway, so shall we? Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I was going to say that I got a forever home for my dog, Athena.
I really don't want to talk about that.
I know you wanted her.
I don't know why you keep rubbing it in either. Why do you have to keep bringing it up?
Because I'm so happy for her, though.
I'm happy for her, too, but now let's leave it alone. Every time I come over, she's still, Anne, they're so great. I don't want to hear about it. I think that's great. She should be at my house.
I'm just great relief that I'm down to 2 puppies.
It is a lot more calm here.
It is super calm.
To be honest, I mean, there was no way, and that's why I told you I couldn't expect you to hold on to her. I didn't want you to feel guilty about getting rid of her.
Right.
I want you to feel guilty about talking about her. But
I think we found her soul person, my friend Kim, that I've known since we were kids. She told me a story today. She's done fine all week long, and I
don't know. I want video or pictures to believe this.
She comes home, and they have a doggy door, and they have horse property, and she's babysitting her daughter's dog as well. So somehow they're playing around outside. They knock down.
But wait, back up a little minute. Athena has not really used that doggy door because she didn't really know how for this whole time.
Right.
But
now we don't have a doggy door.
Right.
And for the last 7 months of her life, I've been here. She's been quarantined with me.
Yeah.
With the other 2 puppies, mom and dad.
Yeah. So now she has a doggy door that she's now discovered and learned by other dogs. It's like that movie, Pets. Oh, shoot. What's the movie where they show what pets do? A Pet's Life? Is that what it is?
A Dog's Life?
No.
The one with John Travolta?
No, the cartoon one that was just out. Now they just did Pet's Life 2 or something like that.
I've never seen it.
Oh my gosh, you gotta watch it. It's hilarious.
But
anyway, that's what I'm picturing when we talk about the dogs. The humans leave, and then they're like, "Okay, we got the new one. Let's show her what we do. Show her how to do it."
Well, and I'm sure she's because they go to work during the week. So
yeah, and they're probably we'll blame her for everything.
She's the newbie.
Yeah, so it'll be the cute puppy's fault.
Yeah. So she did use the doggy door today, and her and the other dog were playing, and they knocked down the fence between the 2 yards, hers and her neighbor's, and her neighbor had his irrigation going. So they made a muddy mess, and they ran back through the doggy door and ran through the whole house on the beds and everything.
Pretty amazing.
But the cherry on top, and I was reading this and just shaking my head and just oh my God, I'm so sorry.
You didn't see that?
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay, you need to watch both 1 and 2.
I've never seen it.
It's so cute. Okay, go. It's A Secret Life of Pets.
Oh, okay. No, I've never.
The Secret Life of Pets. Okay, so go ahead, continue. Sorry, but that's what I think of when you tell me this story. I think of they're this movie.
Oh yeah, she's like, you mean no humans are home?
And they're like, hey, you guys, we'll blame the puppy.
Yeah. So somehow she climbed on the mantle of the fireplace and urinated. So I'm still trying to picture that in my head.
I want to make sure they need to put a camera inside.
I know.
Go to Lowe's and buy the $25 indoor camera.
I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, that's fine. She's a puppy. She doesn't know. And I'm just sitting there oh. She has so much patience because I'll lose my shit. Anyways, all right.
How many dogs do they have?
She has an old guy, Mater, and I think another female that is hers, and then she's babysitting her daughters.
So they have two
female.
and Athena, and then the other dog they're babysitting. Mm-hmm. Well.
So they'll be crating her next week.
Oh, poor baby.
It's okay. She just needs to learn. She needs to learn. So anyways.
Well, I think she'll figure it out.
She will.
She'll figure out how to open it.
Anyways. So you are going first today, my dear.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know you love going first.
Sometimes I don't mind it. Are you getting comfy?
Yeah.
Okay, listen. I think I picked a really good one.
Okay, I want to hear it.
I didn't even tell you what I was doing, did I?
No, usually you do.
Oh.
And usually I tell you. We haven't been texting about, well, because we've been busy with other stuff. We haven't really talked about that.
Have you heard of Elizabeth Bathory?
The name sounds familiar.
Well, they call her Bathory or Bathory.
Okay.
But it's Bathory.
Ooh.
Okay. In Hungary, August 7th.
Okay, I've heard of it.
1560.
Oh.
Of course you've heard of it. God darn it. I can't ever surprise you with something.
As soon as you said Hungary, I knew exactly what it was. Sorry.
It's because you do all these.
Yeah. And because I watch this stuff all the time.
You crazy lunatic.
I'm a lunatic. I am a weirdo.
But this is a good one.
Okay.
You guys might
I'm
not
excited.
know. Anyway, one of the most demented and most perverted of all nobles was born. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
She's but okay, can I just say
she's a psycho.
But since you know, let's just talk about real quick, and I probably will repeat this, but there's so many conflicting stories about this. Like if you watch, and I'm probably going to say some things that you're going to be like, what? They didn't say that, but they did. They said it. There's writings, there's podcasts, there's YouTubes, there's documentaries, there's all kinds of things going on, and every single one of them said something different.
Right.
But one thing I watched, they actually went to go seek the truth and see if there was any documentation and stuff like that. And I think because of the times, there's witchcraft was a big thing. And so, you just got to decide after I'm done, is it true? Is it half true? Or is it completely false? Who knows?
Right.
I'll tell you at the end what I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, well, you're taking it really far back in this one. 1500s. Have we gone that far back?
I don't know. 1500s is really far back. All right. Because I thought I was being clever and you may have not heard of it, but nope. Of course you did.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right. So her name is Elizabeth Bathory, which I already told you. Or Erzbet. Yeah, that's how they say it. Erzbet. That's how they say it. Erzbet. Anyway, that doesn't matter.
Make your bed.
And I am going to leave out a whole bunch of names and places because I don't know how to say them.
Okay. Don't leave them out. Just say them.
No.
Come on.
I mean, unless they actually mean something.
Okay.
But I mean, if it doesn't matter to the story, I'm not going to say, why waste our time? Right? That's how I feel. I'm not going to butcher this saying for that. Okay. I'm not Hungarian.
I butchered the French last time.
Yes, but this is way worse.
Okay.
Because it's just like a bunch of letters scrambled up and I can't understand. I couldn't even make a word out of them. Okay, anyway, she was later known as Blood Countess. What do you know her by?
Just the Elizabeth Bathory.
Oh, the Blood Countess, the female vampire, and still to this day, did you know that she was in the Guinness World Book?
No.
The Guinness Book?
No, I did not know
Guinness World Book.
The Guinness Book of World Records.
The Guinness, yeah, okay.
That.
Yeah, Guinness World Book, I don't know. It sounds better when you say Guinness Book of World Records. That's how I know it. But anyway, for torturing and murdering some 650 young girls ages 8 to 15.
Jeez.
Like, how proud she must be. Nobody's beat her yet. Like, isn't that crazy? Why would they put that in the Guinness?
That's a strange category. Why?
I guess there's a category for everything.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they even have one for, like, toenail clippings.
Why'd you even have to go there? Oh.
I literally had a vision of it. Okay, we're going to need a refresher already.
We might need more. What the fuck was that?
You started laughing too early. I tried to do a... You started laughing. The ice keeps getting in the way, so I was trying not to make any noise, and then I was like, fuck it. All right, enough.
No.
All right, so she was born to the most powerful, wealthy, and prestigious families, into the most prestigious families in all of Hungary. So they were like kings and princes and like the highest of hierarchy in all of the Hungary kingdoms. Because she was raised with such wealth and power, she was very well educated, and she could speak 4 different languages: Latin, Greek, German, and Hungarian.
Wow.
Which comes in handy because then she was able to kind of speak to the villagers, the peasants.
Right.
She spoke peasant language. Just saying. She could speak everybody's language.
Peasants in Hungary had a different language?
Well, in Croatia, there's like 3 different languages depending on what part of Croatia you live in. Okay. So in Hungary, that's probably why Latin, Greek, German, and Hungarian was such a... Because it's Slavic. So Slavic people speak so many different kinds of languages, just like, because that's Croatian people do the same thing. All right. She was quite progressive for the times. It was said she was very progressive, actually.
Wow.
Right to the point that I think she even, like, most women didn't ride horses and stuff, but she did. I mean, she really did a lot of things.
Did she do the side saddle thing?
I don't know. They didn't show it, but she did do a lot of... I think she broke a lot of the what women do rules.
Right.
So... And I think she was a bit spoiled.
I think she broke a lot of the what humans do rules.
What a human being should be doing. Anyways, it is said Elizabeth grew up, or shall we say she was groomed to be twisted. Like the way she grew up groomed her to be kind of the twisted person that they say she became.
Right.
If that's actually who she became. We're going to say she did for the sake of our story.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll just say they say, because that's what people say.
I mean, the president says it.
Yeah. I don't know who they are, but they
say it.
They're dead. But they did say it. She witnessed this is pretty. She witnessed. It's whiskey tongue. She witnessed at a young age her family's officers execute brutal punishments to servants and villagers, but, well, hold on. There's even a story of her showing enjoyment while a man accused of stealing was sewn into the belly of a horse.
Ew! What the fuck?
Alive. Okay, but can I just tell you?
They took a grown-ass man...
and stuck him into the belly of a horse.
And sewed him in.
Yeah.
And the horse was dead, apparently.
I mean, I would think he'd have to be, but the man wasn't.
That's gross.
But later, see, this is what I mean. Like, the stories were very conflicting because later it said that her husband actually did that to a man that stole. But this says that she witnessed it, and she, as a little girl, she witnessed it. This is why I took note. Mm-hmm. Because she just, thought it was the best thing ever.
She was licking her lollipop, she was smiling with that spooky smile on her face.
Do it to another one, guys.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, there's also rumors of her being taught, why can't I say this? Satanism. Mm-hmm. There we go. And witchcraft by aunts and uncles. It's like there was an aunt that did witchcraft and an uncle that did Satanism, supposedly.
Okay.
I mean, she got quite the upbringing.
Apparently. We're dumb.
All right. So Elizabeth suffered quite a few medical conditions also.
Mental? Medical.
Medical.
Okay.
Most notable was being epilepsy. Okay, but wait, let me just tell you why she suffered.
Did they know what epilepsy was back then?
Well, they called it falling sickness.
Oh, okay.
Back then. But I think from doing previous stories, and I always watch a lot of those old Viking type shows and stuff,
right,
that if somebody had epilepsy, they always thought it was a demon inside of them.
Right.
But for her, it must have just been cute.
I mean, okay.
Because they just treated her. She had, she threw a lot of temper tantrum. She was just a brat. And then she had some other illnesses, I guess, that they didn't really mention a lot of. But then she had this epilepsy, and the way they treat epilepsy, well, okay,
Was it bloodletting?
that's one of the ways. But they would take blood from somebody who wasn't sick, and they would put it like on their lips or like after a seizure. This is something I didn't understand. They said, okay, including rubbing a non-sufferer's blood on the lips of an epileptic or giving the epileptic a mix of non-sufferer's blood and a piece of skull. Skull? What? After their episode ended? Like what, making them eat it?
They ate skull?
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't elaborate, so I don't know. Did they like grind it up and make them drink it?
And whose skull?
Somebody who wasn't a sufferer of epilepsy.
Unlucky motherfucker.
I mean, they didn't have.
We need your skull. Sorry.
Yeah, they had a problem killing people. The reason I mention this is because it could have something to do with why she's who she is. Onion rings.
Why she's fucked up.
Ooh, I'm gonna crunch in the mic. Anyway, I'm gonna put these right here. You can have one if you want. And we have food and drink now. Thank you very much. Okay. But the reason they believed that she had sicknesses and epilepsy was because her parents, it was a result of her parents' inbreeding. Like they believed they were first cousins.
Oh.
And
like,
her parents,
like the Targaryens in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, everything was kept in the family.
A lot of noble families were like that.
First cousins?
Yeah.
I mean, that could be why they had some fucked up human beings.
Yeah,
I guess.
a lot of kings and queens were all cousins. And that's why they had a lot of
crazies,
congenital deformities and stuff.
It's funny that Arizona is a place where you can marry your first cousin.
What? You can?
Yeah, California also.
I did not know this.
Alabama. Slam Alabama.
I can no longer make fun of Alabama?
Nope, because we are no different.
Are you serious?
But California isn't either.
Oh, what?
Yeah. You can marry your first cousin as long as you cannot procreate with them.
Well, how do you... Okay,
so if it's... people that
I don't want to
don't plan on having kids or they're sterile, they can go ahead and get married.
Sorry. No.
But you know what? I love my cousin so much. And me and my cousin...
in that way?
Listen, no. Me and my cousin, who he's not here anymore, but we were kissing cousins because like he was my first kiss because we wanted to know what it was like. But I would never want to hook up with my cousin. He's a very good looking, sweet man, but he's my cousin. He's like my brother. He's my cousin. I would not want to hook up with him. What is wrong with people? No, when you're family like that, don't you look at each other different?
Yeah.
Like
all my guy cousins are like my brother.
Yeah. Even if they're good looking, you're like my cousin is so good looking, but I don't want to jump his bones.
I'm very uncomfortable with this conversation.
Because he's like a brother.
That's gross.
It is gross, but I love my cousins, but I don't want to marry
Not that
them.
much.
Nope.
Not that much.
Nope. I love them like I'm supposed to love them, not like I'm in Arizona apparently.
We're sorry about anything we've ever said about Alabama. I did not know. But I mean, who knows that this law is on the books? Because I mean, is it common here?
It is a law.
But I know it's a law, but do people actually do it? Like,
sure.
How
I'm sure
prevalent is it?
I'm sure people do. We should look it up. Research it.
Let's Google it. Google it, Alma. Google it.
All right. So anyway, at the ripe old age of 10, Elizabeth was betrothed to, okay, here we go.
Her cousin?
No.
Oh.
Ferenc. His name's Ferenc. It's kind of like Frank, but it's Ferenc.
Ferenc.
Nadast.
I used to have a crush on a guy named Ferenc.
Ferenc. Nadasti.
Ferenc is so nasty. So nasty.
Yeah, kind of like, okay, but he's just as demented as her.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sure it was a political arrangement because she was 10, and that's just how things rolled back then. And they're nobles. So, at the age of 13, before her first marriage, okay, so all right, I'll probably say this again, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. At the age of 13, before her first marriage, Elizabeth allegedly, did I say that right? Mm-hmm. Gave birth to a child.
13?
13! The child
She's too young.
Yeah, but it was just
all right, no wonder she's fucked up.
Some little peasant boy that she had sex with. It's not like she was molested. She went and did it herself.
Oh, she just said, okay, I'm going to do the nasty with you.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she fell in love with him. We don't know the story.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, yeah. The father had been a peasant boy and was supposedly given away to, the baby was given away to a local woman that was trusted by the Bathory family. The woman was paid for her act, and the child was taken to Wallachia. Evidence of what's Wallachia? Wait,
I know Dracula.
Whoa, Wallachia. Yes, because, hold on, yes, that's it. Because the family is actually, like one of the uncles or whatever is a king of Transylvania or something.
Okay.
So, anyway, so that's it. Evidence of this pregnancy came up long after Elizabeth's death through rumors spread by peasants, of course. Therefore, the validity of the rumor.
Those damn peasants. Always spreading rumors.
So it's funny because this is like one of the places... one of the only places that they'll say the validity of this rumor has been disputed often because it's spread by peasants.
Right.
But it's probably true. But there are two different rumors, and we'll talk about it.
That baby lucked out.
Yes, it did. If it's true, it did. True. So on May 8th, 1575, Elizabeth, at around 14 or 15, I already said this, didn't I? Around 14 or 15, she married Ferenc. So the ages, they don't really know. Some people say 13, some say 14, most say 14 or 15.
Sounds about right.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She was young. But I was very impressed to know that he was 19.
Oh,
so
really?
It's not like he was a 43-year-old man.
Didn't marry an old man?
No. She got lucky.
Yeah.
But get this. Is that Shorty already snoring?
Yeah. She just fell right to sleep.
I wish I could sleep like that.
You know.
Anyway, there was 4,500 guests invited to their wedding.
Wow.
That's huge. That's like the whole village or the whole country.
That's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people, I think.
I mean, for a small village we don't know how small it was.
But
maybe they came from everywhere.
That's what I'm thinking is people came from other places, but that's a lot of people. As Elizabeth's social standing was higher than that of her husband. Oh, this is so cool. Mm-hmm. She refused to change her name. See what I mean? She was very progressive.
Right.
She refused to change her last name.
She didn't follow the rules at all, though.
No. She was like, bitch, I ain't changing my last name. My mama had it.
Okay,
my daddy
honey.
had it. His daddy had it. His mama had it.
Exactly.
So, because she was wealthier than him and more prominent, he changed his. He added
that is so crazy.
Yeah, like he kept his but added hers as like the surname.
That sounds like totally unheard of.
Like he's whipped.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Already? But back then, in the 15 and 1600s, come on. Women didn't even they couldn't even shit without asking.
Right.
Oh, well. So anyway.
Apparently she could.
Or she could do whatever she wanted.
Right.
And have seizures.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird because it's like as she got older, nobody even talks about her seizures.
Maybe it wasn't even seizures. Maybe she just was throwing tantrums and they just had to give it a name.
They were like, what the fuck is she doing? Why is she throwing herself on the floor like that? She must be having a seizure. Oh, she must be having a seizure. I don't know what their accent is. It's more like Croatian.
I've seen kids throw tantrums that look an awful lot like a seizure. Except for the whole tongue thing, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, Ferenc's. His wedding gift to Elizabeth was a castle.
Oh.
Here, darling, have a castle. And 17 other homes. I don't know if she already owned these, but it turned out it was a castle, and then they had like 17 properties, I think.
Jeez.
Hold on, I'll read it off this. It said, Frank's wedding gift to Elizabeth was his household. Yeah, so she got everything. But this castle was like literally put in her name as a wedding gift. It belonged to his mother. She put it in his name, and then he put it in her name.
Wow.
That's huge for a female.
Mm-hmm.
2 females, actually.
Right.
Crazy. It's the castle of...
This is important.
Chedete is how I think they say it.
Okay.
I should know this because I'm Slavic.
You...
Should be able to do the whole thing.
I mean, it's in your genes.
It kind of
right?
is.
I mean, by osmosis, you should know.
I should. I mean, really, all I can say is, maybe like a cacao type thing and a little bodro, and that's about it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't even tell you which is which.
You're like, I just know how to say them.
And there's some song that's called Die Die that my family always sing, or not my family, but my extended family would sing and be all proud when somebody knew how to sing it. And we just felt like little dummies.
A song named Die Die?
Yeah. It's like, Die Die, no, I don't know. That's a Jewish song.
I just saw somebody standing on the table, like, with their arms folded, like kicking their legs up while they're squatting.
No. We do have fun parties, though. We know how to hoop it up. All right. So, the Union made Elizabeth one of the most powerful and wealthiest women in all of Hungary.
So she was kind of like Oprah.
Oh, yeah. Except for she owned castles.
Right.
Yeah. All over the place. Like, she basically owned villages and people. And she basically could do whatever she wanted with them, from what I read here.
Sounds like a fucked up game of Monopoly.
I just burped in the mic. It was not an EVP.
Okay.
The story goes that Elizabeth and her husband, they fed off of each other.
Okay.
Okay, so he's as psycho as she is. Let's just put it out there. She's fucked up and demented, and so is he.
Okay.
And they both love to torture people, human beings.
They got off on it.
Oh, yeah. It was almost like a sex thing.
Ew.
If you think about it, like the way they both, I think so. Anyway, her new husband was showing her new ways to torture servants.
Nice.
So I think she was kind of doing it before, but not to this extent. One night, he had a servant. Okay, this is so sick. He had a servant girl. This is so what both of them did a lot of. He had her stripped down naked. Then he poured honey all over her body, and he made her stand there throughout day and night while insects just infested her body and attacked her until she was nearly unconscious. But in his mind, he kind of liked that they would become a little unconscious. And then he literally was like, hey, I like it when they become like this. And then he shows his new wife, watch when you do this. And he rolled up paper dipped in oil.
Uh-huh.
And he would put it between their toes.
Oh.
And light it on fire. And he's like, doesn't matter even if they're half dead, they'll always jump.
What a dick.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I'm telling you, how did these two twisted assholes find each other? And then they mate.
Right.
They called him what he was known as the Black Knight of Hungary, as a soldier. Okay, I messed this up, but I remember it. Okay, as a soldier, he was known for disemboweling and impaling and playing so basically he would decapitate somebody,
right,
take out all their innards, and then he'd play soccer or football with their head.
Okay.
So he'd play with it.
I mean, totally sounds like a thing to do.
So he's like, we don't have a ball. Let's play with this guy's head. Let's kill somebody and play with their head.
Why was disemboweling and impaling such a Hungarian thing to do?
I don't know. It's gross.
I mean, isn't that what
they
the
would,
guy that
put their
Dracula?
Yeah.
That was his ew.
So gross.
Well, and just sewing somebody up in a horse. I mean, what the fuck?
They did a lot of weird things that had to do with sewing.
Well, and apparently blood.
Oh. And then, wait. And he did this with the Turkish captives. So as a soldier, he was so sick that, and he loved being a soldier. He loved being in the military. And I think it's because he could be sick and get away with it. But then after he would do this to his captives, cut their heads off, disembowel them, impale them, he would dance with the corpses.
Oh my God. He's
he just
fucking
had a good old time with
person.
Them. Psychotic. Very gross. One story of the mystery baby Elizabeth had was that she got pregnant. So remember I told you about the baby.
Right.
So the reason I was like, there's different stories, or there's also stories that she had more than, because she had 5 kids.
Right.
But there's also stories that she only, because there's movies too about this.
Okay.
One I couldn't watch, and I watched 2 of them. Really bad acting. But one's called like The Blood Countess, I think it's called. One's called The Countess. I think that's all it's called, or The Countess. And then, but they're on Amazon Prime. That's where all of them are.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but there's one that they only showed 4 kids that she had, I think. Anyway, doesn't matter. The kid thing was very confusing because they would say that some died when they were babies and yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. And then there's these stories, which I'm wondering if the stories just got confused.
Okay.
Like, while her husband was gone, maybe she was hooking up with some peasants. I mean, that is in one of the movies. She did have, I think the guy was an artist, and she had an affair with him. One of the stories of the mystery baby Elizabeth had was that she got pregnant 2 years into their marriage, which I don't think could be a lie because she's trampy, and had a baby by a lover of a lower class, which probably could be a peasant. Anyway, Ferenc. How do you say his name? Ferenc. Ferenc. But when they pronounce it, like the Hungarian people, they say it's like Frank. Ferenc.
Oh, I like Ferenc. I don't know. It just sounds funny. It rolls off the tongue.
Ferenc. Because that's how I remembered it. Ferenc.
Okay.
So, okay, enough of that. Shut the fuck up. Okay, so listen. This is so gross too. So he finds out she has a baby by some lover, blah, blah, blah. And he comes back and he has the guy, if this is true, he has the guy castrated, and then...
Castrated?
Castrated. Did I say it right?
You said it right. I just am fucking with you.
And then he has him torn into pieces by dogs.
Okay.
I think he made a habit of cutting guys' balls off and stuff.
I mean, it sounds very Game of Thrones.
Yes. Anyway, in this story, the child was a daughter and was quietly hidden from view. You like how I took it from
locked her in the castle? Is it Rapunzel? She just disappears from the story.
They don't say. Yeah. At least the other story, they had a little bit, it elaborated. They sent her to the village.
I mean,
or him or it.
Maybe he just did away with it.
But if he cut some guy's balls off and had him fed to dogs, why wouldn't he just kill a baby?
Yeah. He doesn't sound like somebody with morals.
The weird thing. Even though these two are so demented,
right?
The record shows she was a great mother, super loving to her kids.
So she could compartmentalize.
She hates servants, but she loves her babies. Okay, so in 1578, Ferenc.
Yeah,
anyway,
that sounds better.
Ferenc. He became the chief commander of Hungarian troops, leading them to war against the Ottomans. Okay, so this war, I think, lasts a really long time. Mm-hmm. So he's gone to war for most of the time, and she's
just fucking around.
Well, she takes control of everything.
Uh-huh.
So now, I mean, she is the most powerful woman, right? So she's managing what the man usually manages. And usually, I think history was if the man went off to do whatever he did, he set another man in his place.
Right.
The woman would just go look pretty or whatever. But not for her. She ran everything. So she took care of all the business affairs, all the estates, everything. She took on the whole... The role usually included responsibility with the Hungarian and Slavic people, even providing medical care.
Really?
Yeah, so the medical care part, that's where some people are like, well, was she really killing people or was she providing medical care?
I mean, I guess we'll decide.
Yes, we will.
We will judge her.
Yeah, we will. All right. So during the Long War that was 1593 to 1606, Elizabeth was charged with the defense of her husband's estates. Oh, and because they had so much money, there were times besides their little kingdom was the wealthiest.
Okay.
So while others were suffering, and even maybe it's almost like the business is suffering, but we're not.
It's because a woman was running the kingdom?
I mean, I don't know, but she was literally loaning
I hate
money.
to point out the obvious here.
I mean, but she really bailed out stuff during the war, this long war. But anyway, Elizabeth was charged with the defense of her husband's estates, which lay on the route to Vienna. The threat was significant for the village of Chiete. I think that's what it is. Chiete. Had previous been plundered by the Ottomans. Well, Savar, located near the border, was divided. Royal Hungary, and nothing sounds right now. Does it sound weird? And Ottoman occupied Hungary.
Hungry?
So hungry. Anyway, all right, overanalyzing. Oh God, I've had too much. Too much.
I like to see you high.
Oh my God. That would
You would say a word like 50 times. Like, did I say that right? Is that even a word?
Yes, because I see it in my mind. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So it was even in larger grade danger, blah, blah, blah. So basically, she's bailing people out with, it's almost like their personal funds.
Okay.
Because they're so rich.
So they're almost like a bank.
Yeah, kind of. She's the bitch.
Head bitch in charge.
Yeah, because it says there were several instances where Elizabeth intervened on behalf of destitute women. Oh, no, this is different. So, including a woman whose husband, this is what I mean, like she's so demented, but yet she's rescuing, this woman was raped. Her daughter was raped and impregnated by some jackal. Mm-hmm. And she came to her aid and was like, come in here, I'll protect you, and you can work in my castle that people die in.
Okay.
And I actually think like one of the stories was that she took care of that guy.
Oh.
But that's not in this part, so I didn't put it in. So that just shows like she had this kind side.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Oh, and she was extremely beautiful. She really was a pretty woman. Mm-hmm. And so, that fools people thinking, oh, she's pretty, so she must be nice. Mm-hmm. She can't be a killer. She's gorgeous. She's elegant. She's smart. She speaks 4 languages. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, she's rich, but she's
Meanwhile,
she's a little crazy, too.
I got somebody tied up in the basement.
Yeah,
having them drawn and quartered.
And you can still go down into the cave areas or whatever where they used to hold people. Elizabeth and Frank had 5 children, which I told you from stories, and I already said this, so.
So she had 5 children from Frank and allegedly 2 from other.
Allegedly she had 1 from a peasant, but there's 2 different stories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is where it's saying I jumped ahead. She was actually a loving mother.
Okay. Alrighty then.
All right. Okay, so her hubby...
With a grain of salt, I'll take that.
Yeah. Her hubby died January 4th, 1604 at the age... Now we're getting to the juicy stuff.
Okay.
Died 1604 at the age of 48. They were married 29 years.
Wow.
Isn't that insane? That's a long time for 2 crazies. Anyway... After he married Elizabeth, 29 years after he married Elizabeth, he died of a sudden and mysterious illness. Nobody ever figured out, like, how he died or what this illness was.
Did she get rid of him?
He wasn't at home.
Oh.
He was at battle.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. But he did have a disease, that he suffered from that, like, affected his lower limbs. But I don't know how it affected his lower limbs. Like, did it cripple him? It didn't really say. It just says affected his lower limbs for 2 years before his death.
Huh.
Was it something that like what is it?
Maybe something degenerative?
Yeah, I don't know. Something that
it didn't say.
Flesh eating maybe that went up and that would be quick, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Anyway, Elizabeth she had a thirst for killing and torturing young girls, which we talked about, ages 8 to 15. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The stories are she believed that the blood of the young girls would keep her young. This is where the vampire part comes in. So
that's creepy.
Yeah. So she earned the title. Because they said, some stories would say, like the stories about her bathing in the blood came on later, I guess.
Right.
And then they would say that she drank the blood. But anyway, the movies say she bathed in it. Because of the rumors that she bathed in the blood, as well as drink it after she... Oh, okay, so what happened was after she hit one of her servants, this is where the blood thing came in. She got pissed at one of her servants and hit her with a hairbrush. Mm-hmm. And it like made her nose bleed. Mm-hmm. And the blood got on her. And she was like, you bitch! And then she's looking in the mirror and she's like, oh, wait a minute. It's making me younger. And I don't know if it's her crazy head or if she literally thought, Kardashians, there's a lot of famous people that put blood on their face.
What?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's like their own blood.
That's gross.
They do. Look it up.
Oh, God. There's all kinds of like freaking conspiracy theories that are going around right now that are just like, this is just very reminiscent of that right now.
Okay, but Kardashians did it on their show.
Did they?
Yeah.
Ugh. Gross.
So,
I don't watch the Kardashians. No.
Yeah, they actually
I try to
did
stay
it
away from that.
on the show.
My daughter, every once in a while when she's over here,
So watch it.
she'll be watching it and I'll walk in. I'm like, ugh.
They're not my favorite, but Allie and I used to watch it together. So yeah, but yeah, they do, and supposedly makes you young. I don't know. Don't do it. Please don't. Please don't do it.
I think the last time I watched it with Serena was when they were cooking and preparing afterbirth or something like that. And I was like, I can't even fucking watch this
That's
shit.
disgusting. That's disgusting. Yeah, they do gross
I don't think it was real,
but
but it was still a disgusting
It's a disgusting thought. But people do it. People do eat after birth.
I believe it.
I know people that have done it.
I believe it. I
mean, it's not like they're getting it from the doctor and chewing on it. They have little capsules made out of it and stuff like that. Or they get it and they put it in a drink.
I remember like being on the way, going to work one day and I'm listening to the radio, one of my favorite radio stations. I can't even remember what it is now. But somebody had written in a story and apparently, her mother-in-law had pissed her off so badly during the birth of her child that she asked the doctor to save the afterbirth. And she went home and she could, I guess her mother-in-law was just overbearing and whatever, and it was bad. So her mother-in-law shows up the next night at the house and she made tacos out of the afterbirth.
Well, she made her mother-in-law supposedly healthy.
Blech.
I'd kick my daughter-in-law's ass if she did that to me.
Blech.
But I have the most delicious daughter-in-law and she would never do that to me.
She would never. She's a sweetheart.
She is so sweet. All right. So
we just go off on our little tangents.
Do. That's why I end up repeating things because I kind of go.
And also this whiskey is really settling in.
It's yummy.
When my story gets here, it's going to be fun.
I know. I'm almost done. Anyway, however, I don't think she bathed in the blood. No, because if you think blood is really sticky. It's it's
thick. It's viscous.
It's thick. Yeah. And so
it starts to clot.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't think she bathed it. I think if maybe she smeared it on herself, whatever. But if anything, I think she drank it or smeared it on herself. But take a whole bath in it? I don't think so.
You know how stories spread.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to stick to that part. But they swear she bathed in it.
Okay. And that's what I heard.
But that is something that came out later. That's not even something that was in her trial, I don't think, even that they talked about her bathing. They just
made all kinds of stories.
Yeah, that's the Village People.
Right.
Anyway.
YMCA.
Did you know the Village People were alive in the 1500s? Okay. Anyway, they did say she drank it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so like I said, this is in the 1600s where if you were accused of witchcraft or supernatural acts, then you were burned at the stake.
Right.
You were a goner. And so my theory, and a lot of people's theories are, think about this. She was so powerful.
Right.
And
she was a woman.
Right.
And her husband
she
died.
has brothers.
Oh.
So even if she's arrested, who inherits her shit?
Right.
Not her kids yet, because they're not her kids. Her brothers, the men in her family will inherit her shit. Her husband's dead. So
she's kind of vulnerable.
Why wouldn't people be making up shit, in my opinion?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think that the more research I did, I was like, there's a possibility. I think she
got railroaded.
I think she was a crazy.
Yeah.
I think she did. I think she was violent with people. I also think she had a generous side. I think she was She was probably a little wackadoodle. I think her husband was wackadoodle. But I think somebody took advantage of that and made the stories more. And then I think she was railroaded. So anyway, they were talking about perhaps the family or others gained from her demise or a removal from her powerful position from spreading these rumors. If she was removed, it would be her family who gained, which I just said. Okay. At first, her victims included servants at her castle. Now we're getting into the good stuff.
Okay. I was wondering where you were
Servants
going.
at her castle and daughters of local peasants. But she began to run out of those victims as she went through so many. She had to dispose of their bodies. And she had accomplices. So her trusted accomplices would throw them over. She had like 3 or 4 accomplices, people she trusted, that they would throw the bodies. There were so many of them. They'd throw the bodies over the walls and they'd get eaten by wolves. Many were buried on the grounds at first when she would kill the girls. A priest would come, when it was just like 100.
Uh-huh.
A priest would come and he was told that some of the girls, like by the accomplice, says that they're just dying from like disease and stuff, but he's like no, I'm pretty sure if somebody came and examined the bodies they would see it's not disease. And he was basically telling her like God he knows what's happening. He's not gonna like this. You're not going into heaven. You better repent now. And she was like, fuck you, asshole, watch yourself. And so, anyway, put him in his place. Okay. I keep waiting for it because I know it's on here. Okay. Some of the stories and the movie I watched told of her having an orphanage where she would put kids to work, teach them and read and to write. And some, like the nobles and stuff, they were even sending their daughters there to learn manners and stuff. So girls and boys, there's some boys, but they were put to work. They're pretty safe, I guess. Anyway, witnesses told of her stabbing victims or biting their breasts, hands, face, and necks.
What?
Yeah. She loved doing things with her scissors. She would cut the skin. This is gross. She would cut the skin between their
You're
fingers.
going to make me gag right now when you do that.
I don't even know.
It's like your whole body convulses.
She would cut the skin between their fingers.
Okay.
Cut off their noses.
Okay.
And even their genitals.
Oh. Wait, girls?
The boys.
Oh.
So she did hurt boys. Oh. Yeah. But she was also cutting off boobies.
Ugh.
Oh, God, no. Okay, hold on. I'll tell you. She did something very gross to somebody. Okay. She would burn them with red hot irons. This is where, somebody was like, maybe she's healing them because she was using they saw the iron burn marks or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
And how they would make them bleed.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Anyway, she would also put them naked in a spiked Iron Maiden thing and squeeze them, just squeeze them to squeeze all the blood out of them.
Ugh.
Gross. It was rumored that she ate their flesh, cannibalism. We've been doing that a lot lately. Stories.
Yeah.
Anyway, but she, I'm going to get to it in a minute, so I'm just going to keep going. Anyway, she also would, what I read was that it was freezing cold weather outside, like the dead of winter. They would pour water all over people and then make them just freeze them to death. And another one was no, they'd make them stand in buckets of ice and freeze them to death outside. Either way, it's not, because they're I think a lot of them. Tomato. She liked making people be naked, everybody's naked.
She was a sadist.
Yeah. It was gross. So, they froze to death. Starvation and poisoning were not beneath her. At this time, she even... you asked about private parts? Mm-hmm. She singed the private parts of a girl with a candle. With a burning candle.
No.
That one hurts. Oh, my God. Another time, she was too sick to do the torture herself.
Oh, okay.
But
she still didn't take a day off.
No. She had a servant come in. I'm assuming one of her trusted accomplices. She had him come in and
how did that conversation go? I'm too sick to torture the people in the dungeon.
Go get me a girl. I'm hungry. So she went and got the servant goes and gets the person. She props herself up on pillows. They bring the person to her, and she bit pieces of flesh from the girl's neck, shoulders, and breasts. She likes breast meat.
Oh.
All of this and more was what she was accused of at her so-called trial, and I say that lightly. Her trial was a joke. Anyway, so she was even accused of having sex with the devil himself.
See, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you see what
So
I'm
it sounds
saying?
like it's really over the top.
The whole thing's over the top. Like I think she did things, but I think it was exaggerated.
Right.
Because somebody wanted her property. Between 1602 and
She had sex with the devil.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, remember she practiced Satanism. Right. So supposedly, she was taught that. After rumors of Elizabeth, what do you even call what she did? What's the word? Her atrocities?
Yeah.
What am I trying to say?
Atrocities.
Is that what I'm trying?
Yeah.
Why doesn't it sound right? Nothing sounds right to. You know what? I do have a weird delay in here.
A little bit of a delay.
Yeah, but that's okay. Atrocities. Anyway, things have been spread throughout the kingdom. Like all these crazy
rumors.
Atrocities.
Oh.
We could use that word.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yes, rumors. Anyway, the Lutheran minister, and I told you about him, he made complaints against her both publicly and at the court of Vienna.
Right.
The Hungarian authorities took some time. It took a long time for them to respond because now, finally in 1610, King Matthias II assigned Thurzo, who is her cousin, the Palatine of Hungary, to investigate. Thurzo, it's almost like he's got it in for her because I think he's in with the family.
Okay. So they arranged to take her out so like some brother could take over her lands or something.
I mean, yeah.
Or they could
divvy
it up.
That's what it sounds like. But okay, so they try and make it legitimate. Like he orders 2 notaries. I can't pronounce their names. It doesn't matter. We don't know them. To collect evidence on March 1610. By October 1610, they collected 52 witnesses that were like, but by this time, by 1611, notaries collected testimony from more than 300 witnesses. By this time, they probably got all these people. First of all, they probably paid people.
Right.
But they probably have people that were just pissed off at her from being an asshole anyway.
Well, everybody's frothing at the mouth at this point.
Yeah, that's what I think. Anyway, on December 12th, 1610, Nicola. Oh, okay. So yes, this is where he's like, listen, we can't have this embarrassment brought to the family. So what we'll do is we'll try the accomplices.
Okay.
Which I think was like 2 women and a guy or something like that. Well, we'll try them.
All her servants.
Yeah, we'll try them. And then for her, we'll just not give her a trial. That seems fair.
Okay.
So she didn't get a trial. Then they said, what we'll do is we'll just like take away her that way. If we save her the trial, then the family will get her property.
Right.
And then
right.
So yeah. So anyway, on December 30th, Thurows went to Chete Castle.
Chete.
And arrested Elizabeth, along with four of her servants who were accused of being her accomplices. And I don't know how to say any of their names, but we don't know them, so it doesn't matter. According to, we don't want to, but they say her name was Katerina.
Uh-huh.
And there are stories that list Katerina or Katia as her daughter too. And even in the movie they say something about a Katia and that's like favored by her. Mm-hmm. It's very conflicting because
so she just basically took a servant and groomed the servant as well
to do these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she had. Well, okay, so another story is there was this woman that came, and I don't know what woman it is on here, but she came to help, and the rumor was she's a witch, but she was probably just a mean woman. Mm-hmm. But they clicked. And once she came into service, Elizabeth got worse.
Oh.
The violence got worse. But they think it's because she was teaching her stuff and teaching her how to be worse.
Okay.
But anyway, so I think that's one of the women too. She's older, she's more experienced, but anyhow, so that's I think like that's how I think she attracted them, and she got sickos. So, wait, did I finish this part? Who were accused of being her accomplices? Yeah, there was Dorota. I can't even say their names. Ileona, that one I can say. Katerina. And Jonas from Jonas Brothers. He was there. Anyway, according to Thoreau's, so this letter, he wrote a letter to his wife, this cousin, and this letter does exist at some museum out there.
Really?
The snoring crazy.
Can you hear her snoring?
It's loud.
It's like vibrating up my leg.
Yeah, and so when they go and look for like proof of this stuff, this is the only thing that exists. Like one of the only things that exist is this letter that this Thurzo wrote to his wife. And it in his unannounced visit, so he talks about his unannounced visit, he found one dead girl and another living prey girl in the castle. I don't know what that means. One that was dead and one that was partly alive is how they describe it.
Okay.
Anyway, but there was no evidence that they asked her what had happened to her. He didn't say anything, although it is commonly believed that Elizabeth was caught in the act of torture. She was having dinner. Initially, Thurzo made a declaration to Elizabeth, because this is when he showed up, I guess, unexpected, to Elizabeth's guests and villagers, that he had caught her red-handed. He thinks he caught her red-handed because there's a dead girl.
Okay.
And one that's half dead, but this is where they say, well, were they dead, or was that girl dead because she had a disease? And Elizabeth maybe was trying to heal them, and that was the other girl was like,
right,
had whatever. However, she was arrested and detained prior to the discovery or presentation of the victims. It seems most likely that the claim of Thurzo's discovery, Elizabeth covered in blood, has been the embellishment of fictionalized accounts. So see, some of it's drama, fictional.
Right. I mean, it was
stories.
the 1500s, so
yeah.
I mean,
and just think that whole area, it still exists, and even the castle is still there, but kind of not. Mm-hmm. And people still go up there and do little ghost hunts and things like that. So there's still stories. For 100 years, though, they couldn't even mention her name. 100 years. They couldn't say her name. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, Thurzo debated further proceedings.
She was literally she that shall not be named.
Yes. And he even says, I think I have it on here, so I don't want to mention it yet. Anyway, he debated further proceedings with so he talks to Elizabeth's son, Paul, and two, like it's the first time I read this, and two of her son-in-laws. Georgi. See, I can say one of the names. Anyway, a trial and execution would have caused a public scandal, which I told you guys all about. An influential family which ruled Transylvania would be disgraced.
Oh, no.
God forbid. And Elizabeth's considerable property would have been seized by the crown.
Once again.
By her family? The crown is her family, but not that family. They didn't want them to get it. They wanted, her brothers wanted it.
Obviously.
Oh, well, and I guess this is saying, this is saying that her two sons and son-in-law or whatever are going to get it, but that's not how all the other things were saying. Mm-hmm. They were saying that her brothers were getting it. And that's why the family was like, no, let's keep it quiet. Whatever. But anyway, anyhow. It was originally planned for Elizabeth to be spirited away. Oh, they were going to send her off to a nunnery.
I'm all spirited away?
Yeah. I hate that word. I mean, I hate that they changed. I didn't write that myself. Half of this I wrote myself, and the rest I was like, put it on there. That's why I'm getting a little out of order right now. But as accounts of her murder of the daughters of lesser nobility spread, it was, I guess agreed so for her kids' sake, that she would be under what is known to us as house arrest. But here's what they said. So house arrest, there's some of this is saying that she would be able to roam the castle free, but just can't leave, But she has full access of the castle. But every other story that I read, they showed that she was sealed up in one room for 4 years until she died.
Oh.
They even sealed up the windows.
Okay.
They wanted the punishment to be, you may not be in prison, but you are in prison in your own castle.
Right.
The place you once had roamed free and did whatever you wanted. And so
which would be a really fucked up punishment if all this was made up.
Right.
Just to...
And if that's true, or is this true?
Yeah.
But everything, that's one common thing that they had, was that she was locked in this room for 4 years. Basically, that's when because she lived a long time. She lived to be in her 50s, which is old back then.
Right.
And so, I don't know. But anyway, and basically her only contact with people was like, and one said it was only just to get her food, but she had contact with priests and then to get her food and I guess family. But anyway, the accusations of murder were based on rumors. There's no document to prove that anyone in the area complained about the Countess. In this time period, if someone was harmed or someone even stole a chicken, a letter of complaint was written. 2 trials were held in the wake of Elizabeth's arrest. The first was held on the 2nd of January, 1611. The second was held the 7th of January. So 2 back to back, but she didn't get an actual trial. Like, those weren't for her. Those were for her servants.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because she didn't actually go to trial. Anyway, on January 25th, 1611, Thurzo...
So she was just imprisoned without a trial.
Yeah, because, the family wanted the property. And so if a judge would have declared her anything, then they wouldn't have got...
Anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds convenient.
And so I don't know what this is going to say, but the other people, the women, they got their fingers chopped off and then they were burned alive. And then the guy, he was decapitated.
Right. So it's hard to tell what the actual true crime is here. Like, is the true crime the land grab, the property grab, or was it her actually committing these atrocities?
If she actually committed those atrocities, right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And if she didn't, then those poor servants that were fingers chopped off and
somebody had to take the blame. Somebody had to take the fall.
And then she had to wither away for 4 years. That's sad. It is. But
if that's true.
If it is true. Okay, so September 1610. See, this is where I'm like, now her kids come in. Because prior to that, it was her family and her brothers. And then right before she died, she wrote in her will, September 1610, in which she left all current and future inheritance possession to her children. In the last month of 1614, she signed her arrangement, in which she distributed the estates, lands, and possessions among her children. Like, that's when her kids got something.
Oh.
On the evening of the 20th of August, 1614, Elizabeth complained to her bodyguard that her hands were cold, whereupon he replied, "It's nothing, mistress. Just go lie down. Like, you're fine.
You're fine.
Quit complaining." And she went to sleep, and she was found dead the following morning.
Crazy.
Yeah. So then she was buried in a church.
So why would they bury her in a church?
Yeah. Well, they did. Well, 25th of November, 1614. But according to some sources, due to the villagers' uproar, this is what, because nobody knows, she's not in a marked grave. Nobody knew where she was. On YouTube, I think there's things that they say, we found her, we found her grave, but they say that she's not in that, that her body was moved to her birth home, and it's in this says it's in a family crypt, but they say that she's in an unknown grave. And the church or the castle do not bear any markings of her possible grave. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, for 100 years, they couldn't even say her name.
I don't even know how to feel about this story, to be honest with you.
Can you imagine, like, the gross things, like, as I'm watching it and as I'm writing it, I'm like, oh, gross, oh, sick, oh, I got shivers.
So do you think she did all those things? Or most of those things?
I don't know. I mean, I only wanted it to be true for this story because
Right.
It's so freaking crazy.
Right.
But in reality, no. I mean, it's just too out there.
Well, I mean, there's some out there shit that people actually do now. So.
But they're even in the Viking era, they have proof of stuff like this happening.
Right.
There is not an ounce of anything.
Right.
And the only proof that they
not even
have,
an eyewitness.
No, the only thing they have is that letter that he wrote where it says there's a girl found dead and another one that's like basically half dead, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And that one even suggests that it was because, remember how they said that she did medical stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And that one was suggesting that that's what she was doing, that she was helping him medically by like doing the bleeding, the bleed out stuff. And when they burned them, that's like how they would close a wound, or, they burn certain things out. So that was their explanation for all of that.
Huh.
So Mama don't know, girl. I don't think she did all that. I think it's all like, it just like, with each little century, more,
something got added on.
Yeah, legend.
Right.
You know how like...
Well, I mean, what sounds more cool than some chick that's bathing in people's blood?
Well, I mean, yeah. Like, do we want to watch a movie about a chick bathing in somebody's blood and like being this demented? Or do we want to watch a movie about her healing people and being super sweet?
Why does this feel like an episode of Outlander?
Ooh.
You know what I'm talking about, Galis? Did you watch that season yet?
Oh, I only got to watch up to season 3.
I think it might be season.
Oh, wait. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I got chills. Yes. That guy would.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, see, that stuff, I can't even handle it. Like, I want to fast forward through all that. I don't want to believe that any of that even really
happened.
And I hope I didn't have any previous lives back then, but I'm pretty sure I did.
So, of course, we took a little break.
All right, girl. So, what I'm so excited. What's it on?
All right, so...
You get good stories, so...
This one I've been wanting to do for a while. A long while. But we had done so many Ed and Lorraine Warren-related stories.
What?
Ed and Lorraine Warren. Ed is a demonologist, and his wife she's a medium.
Oh.
So... Back in the day, there's a whole slew of movies that are just made from their stories and stuff that they've had to do with. So, anyways, did you ever watch? Well, I know you probably don't watch these kind of movies. Haunting in Connecticut.
Oh no, I did not, but I'm pretty sure my kids did.
Okay, well,
I remember.
It is based on the Snedeker family, and it happens in... Did I not write it? It was like...
A lot of people go to that house, though, to do YouTube stuff.
Well, this one, somebody lives there, so they don't allow people in the house. This house.
Oh.
It might be a different house that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Because there's several that have to do with them.
because I know it kept coming up.
There's another Connecticut one. There's actually another Connecticut haunting that they also had to do with.
I know, because that's how that sounds, because when I'm researching stuff, Amityville and Connecticut house come up a lot, and people go to it.
Yeah, people drive by it and whatever, but like, I don't think the people are very open to I'll put that out there. They're not
Don't
open.
go there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. The story takes place in a small town in Southington, Connecticut, when Carmen and her I'm already putting you to sleep.
No, it was my story was alone. But anyway, go ahead.
Carmen and her husband, Al Snedeker, they decide to move into a rental close to a hospital where their oldest son, Philip, is being treated for Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Oh, how sad.
Yeah.
That is sad.
The family had fallen on hard times, and I don't know if part of it is due to like the treatment he's going through. Like, as I'm reading different stories and listening, it sounds like the dad is traveling back and forth from wherever they were living before to here. So he's working like in the city and then coming over here. So they felt lucky to find such a nice house for their large family, which consisted of 4 children and 2 nieces, for super cheap. And I mean dirt cheap.
Listen, if it's too cheap, watch out.
Especially like this house, if you see pictures of it, it's a very nice house. I mean, it just, from the facade of it, reminds me of Happy Days, like the Happy Days house.
All right. When you were researching, did you come across that there's one house where this lady and her 2 boys move into it, and it's this big, beautiful house, and they got a really good deal on it, and there's a reason why. Did you come across that one when you were researching? Because that one pops up a lot too.
It might be this one.
Oh, it could be. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. So, anyways, she was really having a really hard time finding a rental that was going to be within their price range and accommodate the huge family. And so when they run across this one, they're like, okay, I'll take it. Practically sight unseen, except that she does go look at the house, but she doesn't go down to the basement because I guess it was being renovated at the time. So she never gets down that far. She inspects the rest of the house and she falls in love.
This is the family with the lymphoma guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So upon moving in heads, what?
I just don't know why. Even if it's being renovated, I'm freaking going down there.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess it was all blocked off. Like it was.
Like, why don't you want me to see it?
Exactly. But apparently that's disputed because the people that rented it to them at the time, they were like, no, we told them.
Happen.
Yeah, they knew. So they move in, and finally the husband heads downstairs to clear out whatever, like heads down to the basement, and he discovers a small room with an embalming table and a chain and pulley casket lift.
What the fuck?
And a blood drainage pit behind construction materials in the basement. Yeah.
But that wasn't like any kind of funeral place, right?
It was.
Oh.
It was.
So how'd that just get left behind?
Exactly. Carmen would also discover creepy photographs of corpses tucked away in cabinets in the house. What they claimed to not have known when they moved in, and there is some dispute, like I was saying, to the validity of that claim, is that the house had also been a mortuary back in the 1920s, known as the Hallahan Funeral Home.
Wait, so, but they're saying, yeah, we were told that, but...
No, they're saying we were not told. Yeah.
But the people are saying, yes, of course we told them.
Right.
Oh, okay, well then I believe the people who are saying, no, fuck no, they didn't tell us.
Right. So... on its face, it doesn't sound too bad because, I mean, I watched My Girl in the early 90s and she lived in a funeral home. You know, how bad could it be, right?
Have you watched 6 Feet Under?
No.
Oh, it's on HBO. It's actually really good. I like it.
I remember it was popular back in the day, but I don't think we had HBO at that time. So
I like it.
And apparently they didn't mind either because they decided to live there for a while.
I mean...
And I don't think they had anywhere else to go. I mean, they were kind of desperate at the time and they needed something to accommodate.
Yeah.
Four of their own kids, depending on where you read the story, and then 2 nieces.
Okay, so, but listen, if you get too good of a deal on something...
there's probably a reason why. Especially, I mean, the house is nice.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
If it says free, nothing's for free.
Mm-hmm.
If it says... too good a deal?
It's probably too good a deal. There's always a catch.
Probably.
All right. So it wouldn't be long before weird things start to happen, of course. The basement area I mentioned was sectioned off into several rooms, and one of those rooms ended up serving as a bedroom for their 2 boys.
Okay.
So they're sleeping in the basement where
Oh my God.
the morgue is. But apparently the mom sectioned it off, like she blocked it off, whatever.
I took a shower curtain and I blocked it off.
Yeah, exactly. I put tape down there.
Yeah.
And the reasoning for this was because the downstairs had an adjoining restroom, and he was going through the treatment, and he was.
Oh, right. I mean, why didn't they just get rid of all that stuff?
Good question. Good fucking question.
Yeah.
They get to sleep right next to the morgue. It would be in this basement area. Almost immediately, both the boys, mainly Philip, the oldest one that's going through the treatment, he begins experiencing strange things. The very first night, he heard someone calling his name.
But maybe it's a loved one.
Well, I mean, okay. It could be.
It could be.
Other phenomena, such as hearing strange voices, seeing shadow figures, and a man with a pin. And it had been. Imagine how many dead people had been in and out of this place, in and out of this place, in and out.
And I mean, listen, when I die, I'm not sticking around unless I come back and I visit my house and maybe haunt the shit out of a couple people there. But that's it.
That's it?
I'm not sticking around.
That's your only plan.
I'm just visiting.
You're putting it on your calendar.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you go to my house and you're like, this is where the medium lived and the house is haunted, and you call me,
you might show up.
Freaking show up. You
be
bet.
like, yeah.
Yeah, because you're calling me.
I'm Carlene.
I like it. I like people.
All right. So other phenomena such as hearing strange voices, seeing shadow figures, and a man with a pinstripe suit and white hair skulking around. Both Philip and Bradley saw 4 figures standing in the corner one night, talking amongst themselves when a toy robot turned on, and one of them turned to look at them, like dead straight looked at them in the eye.
Oh my God, I'm so tired.
You're making me self-conscious.
No, I don't know why. I keep yawning. It happens when I'm doing readings to people.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden, I'll get in this yawning thing. Isn't that weird? Okay, so I have had that where, my kids' toys that never worked all of a sudden start going on, and I'm like, is that going on right now?
We've had that.
Yeah. Because it's something easy they can make happen.
They can manipulate it.
Yeah.
It's electronic. So these figures are standing there looking, and then one of them looks at him like dead in the eye. Brad was terrified. They all both run upstairs.
Like one of the guys that's like a pinstripe, dressed in the pinstripe thing?
No, this is four
Shadowy?
shadow figures standing.
Okay.
It's
Sorry.
4 figures.
I was yawning.
Put attention.
Yeah, okay,
That's what my dad would say.
Put
attention.
Sorry.
That's what my dad used to say all the time.
So they saw 4 shadowy figures
In the corner
of
the room.
They were looking right at them. Mm-hmm. Or one of them was.
Well, they were talking amongst themselves, and when that robot started going off, then one of them turned around and looked at them.
Okay, that I just got a visual.
Yeah, very creepy.
Woo! Visual.
Very creepy.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So they run upstairs, go tell their mom. She comes downstairs, does the whole search, looks through every nook and cranny. And so apparently she goes upstairs to call the cops. She doesn't find anything. Goes upstairs, call the cops. And I guess there was like a cross above one of the doors. And I did read somewhere that like when they did move in, there was crosses in every room. So the cross that was above the door was gone when she went into the kitchen. So she noticed that immediately.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah. I don't even know if she even got to calling the cops part, because it never really goes into that in any of the stories.
I mean, what's she going to tell them? There's a shadowy figure that looked at my kids?
Well, I mean, her kids were terrified. They saw something. If you're rationalizing it, if you're a rational person, you're probably like, what the hell is it? So apparently Philip became so afraid of sleeping down there that he practically begged to stay at the hospital.
Oh, wow. The hospital would be scarier to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's how he was the first one to feel that the house had an evil presence, and he wanted to leave.
Wow. And being sick probably made him more sensitive.
Right. So the 2 boys at some point are messing around with the morgue equipment, and Philip tells his brother to jump on a gurney. And he starts like spinning him around the room. And then all of a sudden it just starts spinning by itself.
What? That's insane.
And while it's spinning around super fast, he starts seeing things. So that's another one of the experiences that happened.
Nope.
The parents pretty much start to dismiss his claims. They write it off as hallucinations or side effects of the treatment Philip is undergoing. After a while, Philip's personality starts changing drastically. He starts to wear leather. Ooh, leather. Oh. Leather. He goes into the whole Fonzie phase.
Yeah, he's becoming gangsta.
No, it sounds like it just gets dark. And he develops a very strong interest in the occult.
Ooh.
He wasn't the only one that was experiencing these things, and this is just my opinion, the other kids didn't really voice it until Philip was out of the house, because I think they saw the way their parents were reacting to Philip. Other family members experienced drastic temperature changes in the house, voices, apparitions of strange people walking around, and what they described as the sound of 100 birds taking flight.
What?
That just sounds crazy to hear in your own house. Like it's a pretty...
My house smells like... Remember when people were able to smoke in hotels? Mm-hmm. That stale smoke?
Like San Carlos.
Yeah. My house... Like the other night when I got home from your house, I walked in, I was like, holy cow, it smells like people were having a smoke-a-thon in here. But
really?
Like it had time to clear. It didn't smell like cigarette smoke, but it smelled like that stale smoke.
Like it was lingering in there.
Yeah, and I've noticed that since the day I moved in, that my house always had like the people who lived there before me probably smoked. Mm-hmm. But there are times that it is very strong.
Do you think because like the humidity, like yesterday was super humid, that it kind of pulls it out of the wood?
Could be. But it's like sometimes it's just my fireplace that you smell.
Right.
Like just smoke. Other times you get straight cigarette smoke. Like it smells like somebody's blowing cigarette smoke in the vents.
Ew.
And I'll be like...
What the hell?
And I used to think it was because my neighbors next door smoked, but they're not there anymore.
Huh.
And then other times, I get the weirdest... smells, which, that spirit talks to you that way.
With smells?
Yeah, like the burning
perfume.
Fireplace could be somebody was in a fire, maybe.
Oof.
Perfume, I don't mind smelling perfume. But yeah, when I walk in and smell I'm like, God, my house stinks. Bad. But anyway, so go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to...
About the smell?
Yeah, that was reminding me of that.
All right. Where was I? Okay, the 100 birds taking flight. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Carmen reported once having mopped the floor, only to see that the water turned blood red in front of her eyes.
What?
So she's like mopping blood all over the floor. And I did watch a dramatization of this. We watched The Haunting in Connecticut a long, long time ago. Like, I remember bits and pieces of it, and I remember hearing about this story a long, long time ago. Mm-hmm. It was because I've been into this for a long time, so it didn't ring true to me. It was just like it was very Hollywood.
Yeah.
So it was very loosely based.
Yeah.
Very loosely. So yeah, there's that. And there was also claims of groceries putting themselves away, which is helpful.
That's so who could call that a bad ghost? Why
well,
would you?
I mean, maybe it was multiple ghosts. I mean, it was a funeral home. It was an old
come
house.
To my house. I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'd be totally okay with that.
Yeah, it's
put my groceries away.
It was Uncle Henry putting the groceries away.
So the couple's bed was said to have.
I just made that up. That's hilarious. All right.
The couple's bed was said to have vibrated inexplicably during a television interview. Carmen and Al described how the bed often vibrated with a sort of heartbeat.
My bed vibrates.
They alleged that numerous.
No,
but you're different. You're like, but my house is. My house does that.
All right,
we're just gonna say that your house is not the norm.
I'm like, none of this is a big deal.
And you're a little bit more used to hearing certain things than like the average Joe.
Like my whistler.
Yeah, your whistler. That still gives me the creeps. All right, so yeah, a heartbeat. The bed would vibrate with the heartbeat. Different. Yeah. They alleged that numerous visitors to their home had felt these unearthly vibrations. As well as this, the electrical sockets and light bulbs were described as having an unnatural glow, even when the bulbs were removed from their sockets.
My house does not do that.
And here's one what you were just talking about: foul odors of rotten meat and human. Oh well, maybe not that.
No, and I will tell you, FYI, people. Hopefully, you learned something when you listen to me. If you smell something that smells like cat pee, but you don't have a cat, it's a negative force. Mm-hmm. If you smell that kind of thing, the yuckiness,
probably not good.
It's probably not good.
If you smell sulfur,
yeah, any
definitely a sign.
Unpleasant odor that is like rancid, you do not want.
If it smells like a fart in your house, it could be the gas. Yeah. Like if you have gas, I would check to see if the pilot light went out.
the cat pee one, I remember my mentor saying something to me about that one, and shortly after that, I got the cat pee.
Right,
and it was not a good energy at all to have.
Ew.
It was very hard to get rid of it. So you're gonna want to maybe call Carlene if you get the cat pee smell.
Yeah.
I don't like to deal
providing you don't have cats.
But yeah.
If you're a cat lady and you have a cat pee smell, there's a reason.
Yeah, you probably. I mean, I have a cat, but I could tell the difference. Right. My cat does not pee all over the house.
Let's see. Foul odors. Okay, so foul odors of rotten meat and human feces were also claimed to have been smelled by all.
How did they know if it's human feces they smell or like your dog just shit on the floor? Because your dog's ass, let me just say, stinks pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I have smelt your dog shit all over the floor and your dog just blow ass in here enough to melt my mascara.
Right.
So,
you're welcome, because now...
Thank you. Katy Perry mascara is coming off my eyes. How do you know if you're going to say that's human shit or dog
if
shit?
you don't have a dog, for instance...
Okay, it's human feces. Okay. I mean, if you're going to blame a ghost, I mean...
Well, human feces is pretty nasty.
Is it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
It's pretty nasty.
I know shit, remember?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
That's another podcast.
That's a whole different podcast.
And go.
All right. So, back to Philip.
Yeah.
And his descent into darkness. He becomes moody and withdrawn and angry, which, could be chalked up to going through this treatment and whatever. One day, Brad came home from school to find Philip moving his bed into the embalming room.
What?
Philip, yeah.
Is that Philip the one with the Hodge?
Yeah. And Brad is the little brother. And
Now
he
Philip
basically
wants to be
says the reason he's doing this is that he made a deal
What?
with some sort of being. So Carmen naturally freaks out because she's Catholic, and she wasn't happy with her son making a deal with anything that she didn't know about. I don't think if you were Catholic or not, like, that would be some creepy ass shit, dude.
Yeah, nope.
At some point, Bradley moves out of the room because of this, and apparently things get pretty bad. They like get in a knockdown, drag out fight where she tries to break them up, and Philip pretty much effortlessly throws her across the room.
What?
Yeah.
You're not going to just need holy water. You're going to need a pool full of holy water for this house.
Like a bazooka gun of holy water.
Yeah.
He also started to write creepy poetry with necrophiliac themes.
Yeah.
But this threw his mom off because Philip was also dyslexic. So the fact that he was writing this, she was like, what? There's no way he wrote this. Okay, during one intense episode, he attacked his cousin with the intent to rape her.
What?
Yeah. So at this point, family's like, all right.
I'd be like, we're getting the fuck out. I don't care if we have to live in a paper bag. Or...
Yeah. And so at one point they had taken him, before that happened, she had taken him to see his physician and said, I think his meds are causing hallucinations, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, no, there's no way. They don't cause hallucinations. It's not the meds. So she couldn't use that excuse anymore. So anyways, they have him arrested.
What?
Take him for an evaluation where he's pronounced schizophrenic and spent about 40 days in a psych ward. Meanwhile, while he's going through treatment and everything, like, this kid is just getting put through the ringer. Where immediately, as soon as he's away from the house, he goes back to normal.
That's my question. If he went back to normal.
Yes. So while he is away, the effects of the house seem to wear off.
So wait, they kept him there for that long?
45
even though he
days.
went back to normal?
Well,
like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Anyway.
But maybe he's like, I don't want to go back to the house.
That could be. Maybe he was like, nope, I'm fucked up.
I'm staying here.
Yeah. Well, because remember, he wanted to stay at the hospital.
Right. So while he's away, the activity started to center around Carmen and Tammy, her niece. One night, while taking a shower, the shower curtain wraps itself quickly around her and starts to suffocate her. And she starts screaming for Tammy. And Tammy's able to, like, peel it off of her. And with some effort.
Oh my gosh.
The shower curtain.
Could you imagine? Nope. Okay, this is fucked up that you tell these stories. I don't do this to you. I tell nice, friendly ghost stories. You tell this shit and I have to go home.
I warned you.
Ass.
I warned you.
You are mean.
I did warn you. All right, Tammy awoke I was looking for something else.
You can't find a ghost, Casper the Friendly Ghost kind of story. No.
Well, there might be some relief at the end of this, so.
Okay.
All right, so Tammy awoke in the middle of the night with the feeling that whatever had been after Carmen was now coming after her. Something ripped the covers off of her, and she jumps out of bed and goes to get Carmen. Carmen grabs her Bible and noticed on her way out of the bedroom that the last crucifix in the house, the one over her bed, had disappeared.
Come on.
Carmen tucked Tammy into bed.
What? We both said the same time. What?
Here, let me put you back into the bed where the ghost was just trying to do stuff to you. She tucks Tammy into bed and began reading aloud from the Bible. Tammy immediately felt something approaching. A hand began rising under Tammy's clothes, groping her as it moved up. Carmen could see the bones in the hand and wrist under the cloth. Carmen grabbed Tammy and they ran to the dining room. Just to the dining room? Bitch, I'd be at the fucking house.
What? Why?
I'm staying in a hotel.
Ooh, the dining room. We're safe now.
Yeah. They can't get us here.
Ooh, they can't go through
They're
walls.
afraid of your cooking. Tammy could feel it coming for them again. It grabbed the rosary around Tammy's neck and scattered it to the floor. Did you hear that?
Yes.
The rosary?
The rosary got scattered to the floor.
Yeah.
I was watching your dog while I'm like, what?
Oh, he loves that.
He's like,
He's such a big lover.
You're a good boy. All right, sorry. I
boy.
just love these animals so much. Okay. Anyway,
And then you go home and you're like having an allergic reaction.
Breathe. Yeah. Okay, so I'm already like, oh, that could be why I'm yawning.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah. Okay, so the rosary all over the floor.
Carmen and Al both reported also having been disturbed on many nights by an unearthly atmosphere in their bed. They described having heard 1930s ambient mood music playing in the background, which occasionally preceded an assault upon one or both of them.
Wait a minute.
They're both getting assaulted.
By something that's playing this music?
Something that likes 1930s music.
I mean, it sounds...
to get in the mood.
Okay, all right.
I
just got a lot of bullshit going on, but go ahead.
The couple asserted that they had both been raped multiple times by a dark entity.
That's so crazy that you say that. I have heard... Oh, wait. My story was talking about her having sex with the devil. I'm like, I've been hearing a lot about people having sex with ghosts. Bad ghosts.
That's weird. So apparently they end up calling Ed and Lorraine Warren. So here come Ed and Lorraine. Mm-hmm. The famous demonologist, and Lorraine was a medium of some sort because she's always seems to pick up on presences in home that they investigate. Mm-hmm. The Warrens are also famous for their investigation of the Amityville house, which we covered, Annabelle, the doll, the Enfield poltergeist. We've covered all of these, and many others. So now we're on number 4 of their stories. There is always some sort of controversy surrounding the validity of their claims. And yes, if this sounds familiar to you, it's because not only has there been dramatizations on shows like Paranormal Witness, The Haunting, but also, like I mentioned, The Conjuring, the movie. Or not The Conjuring, The Haunting in Connecticut. All right. So the Warrens spent about 9 weeks in the Snedeker's home. When describing what they encountered at the location...
9 weeks?
9 weeks.
What the heck? I think they just want places to stay. For free.
The Warrens rated the possessing entity as a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10. They concluded the house was infested with demons.
Okay.
They arranged to have... Well, I mean, if a demonologist... comes into your house.
Yeah. Well, he wants to find demons.
Well, right. They arranged...
I'd like to find angels.
You're so funny. Right. They arranged to have the house exorcised, after which the house was judged cleared by the Warrens. And one of the dramatizations, when they do this, all of a sudden the house starts to smell like roses, and the atmosphere lifts in the house, and immediately it feels good.
Yeah.
So anyways, like another Warren investigation, the infamous Lutz house in Amityville, there have been numerous claims by people who lived in the house both before and after the Snedeker family that there had never been any evil entities in the house. In fact, the families claim to have no knowledge that the home was once a funeral parlor was refuted by the house's owner, which I said. Perhaps the most damning evidence that the whole event was a hoax came from the horror novelist Ray Garton, who was contracted to write the book In Dark Place with the Warrens and the Snedekers. According to Garton, it was difficult to write the true story, quote unquote, because none of the involved parties could keep their stories straight. It seemed everyone was contradicting everyone else, which I don't know.
That's what happens when you lie. Or
sometimes, like, me and Albert have told the same stories, and
there's different.
We have different.
Completely different, though?
Not completely, but just, there's variations. Like, we remember different things. So I don't know.
How many times have you told a story and your kids are right there and they'll say,
no, that's not what happened.
That's not how it happened.
Exactly.
Right.
So I don't know. Everybody's seeing things from their own.
The little motherfuckers when they do that.
You're like,
this
is how I remember how it happened.
And shut the fuck up. This is grown up talk.
The adults are speaking.
Oh my God.
The adults. Yeah. We're the adults.
Oh my God.
As everybody laughs. Asides.
We need a laugh track.
Oh, we do need a laugh track.
Yeah. So we could be like, ha, 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 ha. We're so funny.
Even when we're not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely when we're not.
Okay, so aside from this concern, neighbors have reported seeing the Snedekers outside their home in the middle of the night. Joan Mirabelle, which is a neighbor, even claimed to have seen a mysterious green glow.
What?
Coming from one of their windows, as well as alleging to have been stung by a mysterious force when she visited the family house.
What? Wait, so is she validating their claims?
So she's validating.
Okay.
She's a neighbor.
All right.
And then I thought I had put it in here, but several of their family members who had visited validated as well. She said, "I don't believe that they made the whole thing up." Mirabelle told a local newspaper she was, however, suspicious of Carmen Snedeker's claims, commenting on the growing media storm connected to the case. Mirabelle described how everything I have seen her, Carmen, on TV, the story became more and more involved, and like it just got bigger.
She was dramatizing it.
Yeah.
So like maybe shit was going on, but then...
But Gladys Kravitz didn't think that that's exactly how it happened, but she had seen some shit because she'd been looking out her window.
Right.
Okay. Nancy Boucher, Al Snedeker's sister, also corroborated having experienced paranormal activity in the family's house. The Snedeker family lived in the house for 2 years after that. After it was exorcised, then moved to Tennessee. The children are all grown now, with children of their own. And Carmen, her name is Carmen Reed now, is now a spiritual advisor.
Get out.
Yeah. And then Philip, his cancer returned, and he passed away in 2012 at 38. So that's I guess sad. He, grew up, had a family, he had kids. So one of the things that I had read was that, he kind of like still held it against his parents for not believing him, some of the crap that he went through. And
wait, is Carmen the mom?
Carmen's the mom.
And she did all that, and now she's a spiritual advisor?
Yeah.
Come off it. So. That gives people like me a bad name.
So, I don't know. Take it all with a grain of salt. What do you think?
Personally, when dumbasses call themselves that and don't earn the right to call themselves that.
Right.
Whatever.
What do you think? Sorry,
my boob items were slipping.
I was wondering if you're going to start breastfeeding.
Am I leaking?
Are you leaking?
Am I leaking?
That's what I used to do.
What do I think? I think there's a possibility that they had paranormal things happening. I think that there's also, what happens, and I try to warn people of this, sometimes you could have things that are happening in your house that are Casper the Friendly Ghost. Mm-hmm. But if you start thinking, because humans are so negative, God forbid we think it's, Aunt Susie needs to tell me something, we immediately start going with, instead of, when we start thinking that that's negative and we're only, because
you're drawing it in.
You're drawing it in. And so then maybe
you're opening a door, maybe?
Well, yeah. In a way, you could be doing that. Also, many times, that energy that's creating the noises, the actions, the shadow, whatever, it's your energy. So like the boy had cancer.
Right.
He was going through the leukemia. The parents are stressed out. They're going through the stress of him being sick. The whole family was stressed.
Right.
So I would assume that they were creating the manifestation of that energy.
Right.
It was coming from that.
There's a name for that, and I can't think of it.
Some people will call it poltergeist.
PK, yeah.
But it's not. It's not a poltergeist. Poltergeist is actually, well, in my opinion, how I know, how they make me feel, it's an actual
entity,
something that's but anyway, what do you call it? PK. But yeah, so it is so my goddaughter, like, I would leave the house and she'd text me or call me and be like, there's weird stuff happening here, there's this sound and that sound and it sounds scary, and I'd come home, nothing would happen. Then I realized it's it's your energy, you're doing that, you're making, it's not any intent, and it's not a ghost.
Right. That's all, folks.
That's all, folks. It is your energy. So that happens a lot. And most of the times when I go to clear a house, it could be their energy. It could be a combination of loved ones and their energy. Most of the time it's usually a loved one that wants to tell them something.
Right.
They won't listen. So anyway, I would... You can stir up some nasty stuff with your energy.
With your own.
Yeah. Oh, you know what was a great example of that? Oh, shoot. It was one of those ghost hunters or something. Uh-huh. And they figured it out. He called it a poltergeist. It wasn't. But they figured it out. Nothing was happening in this house. Where this husband and wife, they even were like, this was our dream house. And they moved out.
Right.
And they called them in because they didn't want the house to be scary for the next people. Mm-hmm. And so... Here comes Ghost Hunter, set up their stuff. Nothing happens. So then they're like, all right, well, let's have her come. As soon as she starts to approach the house, shit starts happening in the house. They get the electro thing going, the electrometer or whatever. That thing starts going. Everything starts going haywire. And that's when they realized it was her energy creating that like force.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But it does act like an entity.
Right. So it mimics, you think that there's something going on.
Yeah.
Because why would you think it was anything different? Like,
well, yeah. Why would you think you're creating something like that?
Yeah.
But I'm a nice person. It has nothing to do with that.
Right.
It's just like the stress and they were going through a lot. So if anything, I think it was that they were creating that stuff. Oh, and then by thinking that something negative was there, they opened a door for. It's just like if you're sad and you listen to sad music, you're sadder.
Right.
If you're sad and you listen to happy music, it makes you happy. So your vibration is changing, and if that vibration's low and negative, you're absorbing.
So he didn't. So if
stuff.
it was the son, like when he's gone for 45 days, he's getting better. So he's not in the house anymore.
Right. But the family still is stressed. Though the family's going through this cancer thing with him too.
Right.
So I think it's the whole family.
Right. Well, and then like just introduce the thought that you're in a morgue. You're living in a house that used to be a mortuary. So your imaginations are going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your eyes
I can
play
see
tricks
that.
on you.
I
The
can see that.
lighting.
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't three shadow figures. Maybe it was the shadow from staring at him, but it was actually.
Or maybe there was actual ghosts in the house,
but
and somebody's sensitive.
Yeah.
Compared to like people that lived there before that, maybe weren't sensitive.
Well, like the vibrations and stuff.
Yeah.
That's my life, vibrating floors. But I remember living on the second floor and you could see shadows going around.
Right.
But it wasn't negative. It was just shit happening around me.
Crazy. Well, that was that.
That's a good story.
Like it? We had good stories.
We did.
Good stories today.
Yours might put a little scare into me when I go to my house by
well,
myself.
Did it make you feel a little bit better that we kind of...
Kinda. But
A
it's,
little?
I don't know. I just don't
I
like
mean, because they had to come in and say, demons.
Right. It is funny though when people do that.
Well,
Anyway, that's it.
That's it. I think that's our night. We talked about like all of our housekeeping stuff at the beginning. Thanks to you guys for
Supporting us. Right. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Like, subscribe.
Like, subscribe. Definitely.
Yep.
And don't forget that we have a YouTube now if you're...
To like and subscribe to.
Yes. Even if you don't listen to YouTube,
Just
like
go.
and subscribe.
Just go click.
Yes.
Click it.
Yes. Because the more listeners we have, or the more it looks like we have listeners.
Then people that don't generally listen or look at our stuff will too. It'll expand us. But we want to
do stuff.
So,
And we've got some stuff in the works, so we'll surprise you.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna keep it mum.
Oh yeah.
For right now.
Guess.
For right now.
Anyway, we're gonna keep having fun, and hopefully you guys enjoy our ridiculousness.
Right.
And our stories. Yep. If you have any ideas, send them in.
Please. Alrighty. We're gonna call it a night.
Good night, Alma.
Good night, Carlene. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mary Ellen.
I still watch that show. It's on.
We're really dating ourselves.
Oh.
Shit. All these kids are like, who the fuck is John Boy?
Not Mary Ellen.
Good night, Ma. Good night, Pa. Anyways,
sleep, John Boy.
I'm Alma.
I am Carlene.
Good night.
Good night.